Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. What you gonna do when Spencer rides his hog on you,
brother?
So Spencer,
Yes.
you find your perfect woman online.
Okay.
Has the exact personality you'd want. Has the perfect body, because that's all you see is the body picture. You don't see her face.
Okay.
She's shy,
Alright.
but she'll show you your titties or whatever. I don't know.
Alright.
You've seen some bikini pictures maybe. But anyway, you're thinking, oh, this lady, she's a pretty lady. She likes all the same shit you do. She's into comics, everything. You meet up with her. When you meet her in person, same body. Banging 10 body.
I'm so worried about what this head's gonna look like.
Crazy Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining head. Hairline and all. What do you do?
Now, when she talks and stuff, will it be like
Jack Nicholson?
Like,
No,
and then
for
just all crazy, just making no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, just out of... Gonna take your medicine. Come and take your goddamn medicine. Like, I don't wanna.
I think I'd have to pass.
Really?
Yeah.
Man. I don't know what you... That seems like a... Again... She has everything you'd want besides that Jack Nicholson head. Not. I'll go this far. She doesn't have facial hair. She's still a lady. She just looks exactly like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. Sans facial hair, but also crazy balding head hair on the top.
See, I think it's more than like the sounding like him and nonsensical like ranting than like the face, like than the face really, like, you know. Like, if I'm just like, you know, we like the same thing, so I was like, we got done, like, watching Endgame. I was like, oh, so, honey, what did you think about that? And he's like, take your medicine! Take your fucking medicine! Like, I think that's where it's, like, weird, where it gets weird.
Like you just got done having sex or something, and you fall asleep, and you wake up, and you just roll over, and there's Jack Nicholson staring at you in the face. He's like, oh, you just bashed my fucking brains in! I'm like, what? Oh, God. I mean, there's worse things she could be.
Nicolas Cage?
Ooh. What's Nicolas Cage? Are we talking early crooked tooth Nicolas Cage?
Doesn't matter. They're all so great. You know what? It's one of those things. Remember the old toys where it had the button on the head and you would hit it and it would spin around to a different face?
Yeah.
It's like that person. That person's head is one of those toys that you randomly spin for Jack Nicholson. Or for Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. I feel that's... I don't even want to talk about it anymore because now I got a visual. I'm just thinking Jack Nicholson with voluptuous boobs. Like, just think of that. You just see, like, Scarlett Johansson walking down, even the blonde hair, but then turns around, Jack Nicholson face, crazy eyebrows. Anger management, Jack Nicholson.
Oh, God.
Saggy jowls, Jack Nicholson.
But banging body.
Okay, what about, like, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Jack Nicholson? A little more handsome, not quite so disheveled.
Yeah, like I said, it's not so much. I think eventually I could get past the weird face. Like I said, it's having like the crazy like, and that would be work if she was like, if she had the personality of Jack Nicholson after he got like the lobotomy and just laying there like
just a vegetable.
That'd be perfect.
Okay. I think we took that topic as far as it's gonna go. Maybe we should
sure? I think I got another 10 minutes.
No, I think we need to just talk about the episode. Our fans will appreciate that. No, they probably just gonna message us later and be like, why don't you guys just talk about the fucking Jack Nicholson sexy lady over and over? That's what I want to hear. Like, that's kind of what I would want to hear.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, but we thought we should be professional.
Well, you know what, fans? If you do want to hear that kind of stuff, stick around for the end of the episode when we tell you our big plans that we might implement. Here's DPW. What's up?
Hey.
I'm your host, Caleb James. This is the Drunken Pen Writing Podcast. With me today, Spencer, the Overlook Ogler Church. He told me I was going to give him a fancy, cool, hip name. I wasn't. And then he told me I should do one related to the episode, which is about The Shining, and that's all I could come up with.
It was really right before you hit record, so, I mean, not bad.
Yeah, it was 5 seconds. Again, I go with the alliteration, so Overlook Ogler. What exactly is an ogler? Somebody that just ogles?
Yeah, I think just like a pervert just looks from afar.
Do you have to be a pervert to be an ogler? What if you're ogling like find warblers in a tree, like birds. I just want to say the word warbler because I heard Sean Connery say it in what was that movie, that basketball movie, Finding Forrester. There was a bird. He was looking. He was like talking about a nice breast, and the kid he's looking out the window with binoculars. The dude was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Oh, a nice breast or something," but then it turned out it was just a warbler. Again, I just like the word warbler. Say it. Just say it once.
Warbler?
Warbler.
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 Yeah, they should serve a warbler sandwich at Warburg's. I'm surprised I was able to get through that.
Yeah. Warbler sandwich. Might be a delicacy. Today's episode, baby. Today's episode is because you know what? I'll backtrack before I go to that. You had this bright idea that Caleb should start reading Stephen King books and you should start reading classic literature and we'll do episodes on our takes of them.
Yeah.
Something or other along those lines. So I mainly just wanted to read it anyway because the Dr. Sleep movie's coming out. So I wanted to read Dr. Sleep and The Shining. So I read...
In that regard, though, you should also try to muster your way through it as well.
I should also fuck you right in the face with my fist because I'm not reading that doorstop before the movie comes out. What, next month?
You can do it. You're a fast reader.
Dr. Sleep is like 600 pages, and the show was The Shining.
No, The Shining's like oh, yeah. I was going to say it's like 1,000.
I read it in a week, so it wasn't that long. Anyway, so we are going to be doing, while it's fresh in my head, the differences between the movie, the Stanley Kubrick Shining, and the book by Stephen King. And my consensus is I watched the movie 50,000 times since I was a little kid. Not a good movie to watch as a little kid. It scared the fuck out of me.
No.
But I really, really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite all-time horror movies. And I think it's probably up there, top 5 best horror movie ever made.
Yeah?
Personal preference. I don't know about
now,
you.
Do you consider it more of a horror movie or more like kind of like a suspense, like
it's
thriller?
Horror, baby. It's horror, baby. You gotta go nasty with the horror. There's a lady in a tub. She's all gross.
Yeah.
By the way, I had some fucked up dreams because I finished, like I did a marathon read of The Shining right before I went to bed the other night. I was seeing shit. I woke up. I saw a kid in the corner like flipping. I was like, what the fuck? And then like my vision came to me and it was just like a fucking, it was raining out or something. There was like a towel flapping. I was like, what the hell was that? Then I had dreams where I was just very violent with the missus. Not even joking. Like I was just like, take your medicine. I was just like fucking abusive. Like kicking the dog and shit, and I woke up. I was like, "This is not good for me." I don't know. I've never had dreams like that.
As long as you don't start seeing red rum winning on windows and walls and stuff like that, as soon as that happens, I think you might need to do something.
Well, I was definitely the Jack Torrance in this situation. I was not the good guy. That's what bothered me. It felt like Danny or something. Okay, and awful things were going on, but in my dream, I was the bad guy.
I'm just happy you didn't have anything like that where we were like, because you were reading it when we went to the Wizard Ward.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and you were reading
in the hotel.
In the hotel.
I just wake up and you see me looming over you with a fucking roque mallet. Where'd you get that? Is that even a sport anymore?
Well, no, this time it would be a pickleball paddle.
Yeah, a pickleball paddle. Oh, shit. Okay, enough of that nonsense. I liked The Shining both. I liked both iterations of The Shining. Like I said, I saw the movie so many times before I ever read the book.
Do you think that affected how you read it? Or?
It definitely did because I was looking for all my favorite scenes in the book and none of them are in the book. None of them. So let's go right into some of the main differences. We'll go with the ones everybody remembers from the movie. Blood elevator doesn't exist in the book. Dead girls in the hallway, come play with us.
Yeah.
Does not happen in the book, but there is the line, come play with us, but it's like a creepy kid in some kind of gymnasium thing in a playground, like underground hole thing. What was the other big one? No, we talked about the hedges off air, but that's a different part. What was the other most memorable? I mean, the red rum was different, like how it comes about in the book. I mean, it's like stated at the very beginning of the book, and it's a theme throughout the whole book. In the movie, it just like kind of happens. He writes red rum or whatever.
We talked about it off air too, but the just the all around craziness of
Jack Nicholson's character.
Yeah, to where in the book it's a very slow burn, and he only gets there through different means. To where like as they're driving up to the hotel in the movie, he's already
kind of crazy. Yeah,
he's already hinged.
In the movie, Jack Torrance is he's just like fucking kind of a nuts guy. I mean, Jack Nicholson, he's just crazy. And he doesn't have, like, at the end of the book, he gets kind of redeemed. He ends up saving the kid. He's like, hey, get out of here, when he has a moment of clarity. In the movie, he just freezes to death trying to murder his kid.
Yeah.
So he's a piece of shit, and that's all it ends. Nothing drives him to be really crazy. Like in the book, he's an alcoholic, but he's a recovering alcoholic. And it's the hotel that's driving him to go and kill his family.
And then in the flashbacks, you get a scene because he's a school teacher, and something happens at work. Isn't it something with like one of his students?
One of his students.
I wanted to say like she was flirting with him or something.
No, it was a male student, and he was on the debate team. It was like a rich kid, and then the kid, for whatever reason, whenever he would debate, he would develop a real bad stutter. And he blamed Jack Torrance for speeding up the time on the timer. And the kid thought he did that on purpose to just embarrass him so he wouldn't make the team, because Jack Torrance ends up cutting him from the debate team. But what it was the kid just had a bad stutter, and he took forever to get to his points. Kid slashes his tires, and Jack Torrance was sober at this point. The kid slashes his tires, he catches him and beats the fuck out of him, and he gets fired. And then that's when his downward spiral begins. I think I did prefer the book version of Jack Torrance, because it shows him not just going crazy, which is done very well, but like his need for alcohol, how pretty much alcohol was the bad guy here. Yeah. Because he still wanted to try to kill his family in the book if the ghost didn't bring booze to him, because there was no booze in the hotel.
Which is, once you, is really weird when you think about if you know your Stephen King history, because around this time him himself was also battling the alcohol.
I think that's
so I don't know if that was a purpose thing as he was writing, man, I kind of get this problem, and he kind of used that to write about it, or if that was a subconscious thing. I haven't heard anything about that.
I almost feel like he was Jack Torrance and Danny was his role son, Joe Hill.
Yeah.
And
is that the oldest one? Is Joe the oldest one?
I believe so.
Oh, I can remember.
And then his wife Tabitha would have been the what the fuck was her name? Not Shelley Duvall. God no.
I want to say something with a J.
Wendy.
Wendy.
It was Wendy.
I was completely wrong.
Not even close. Yeah, so I kind of got at least when I was renting, but again, I don't know when he was, because the 80s, alcohol, cocaine, he was on all of it. So I don't know how aware he was of his personal alcohol problem at the time of writing this. So it might have just been coincidence that he was writing about alcohol, and I don't know, he seemed to know a lot about what it's like, though. It's very detailed. So.
Well, I think he also went through bouts of being sober.
So maybe,
because you figure the Kojo thing, the big Kojo thing about him writing it on a coke bender, that was his 7th or 8th book, something in that ballpark, right?
Yeah, he didn't remember writing that one.
And this is what was it was his 3rd book, so that's some time there, between so.
Yeah, maybe he was on the wagon when he wrote this. Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, he talks about that too, about being on the wagon and stuff in the book. The Overlook is, well, first, before I get to that too, in the movie they're just driving to the Overlook. That's how it starts. In the book, you get all the backstory with the broken arm, Jack's, him getting fired. You get all this stuff. The Shining already makes an appearance right away. You kind of are starting to figure that out. That all happens before they get. It's 10, 15 chapters before they get to the Overlook.
Well, and then he also does a cool thing, especially early on in the book, where you'll get in the same scene multiple times, but one time it will be from Jack's point of view, and then
I really like that.
And he won't do it he won't do them back to back either. He'll do the one, and then something will happen, and then you'll go back to Danny remembering that happened and stuff like that. Which I remember at first took me a minute to get kind of get over that. We just did this but then it's again, that was one of the of getting into reading. That was whenever I first started. So I was very straightforward. I just need the story told to me. I don't need these different plot devices and interesting ways to tell tell a story.
Well, near the end of it, you have the scenes where he's attacking his family with the rope mallet, and he beats the shit out of Wendy, and he's going for Danny. And then it shows Dick Halloran trying to come up the mountain. He's fighting hedges and the shit, and then when he finally gets into the Overlook, it's just it's all happening at the same time, but like you said, from everybody's perspective. It's really cool how he did that.
How did you the stuff with in the book with the older guy showing like who was at the hotel when they first got there.
Dick Halloran, the chef, he's the one who tells Danny about The Shining because he has The Shining. I actually want to bring this up later, but we could talk about it now. No, we'll talk about it now since you brought it up. Since you fucking brought it up.
Sorry, I didn't know what there was.
My non-existent notes for this.
I was gonna say, like I don't have a thing.
Just jumping all over the place. No, Dick's character in the movie, soon as he comes up to save the day, he just gets chopped in the chest with an axe and dies. I hated that in the movie, but I didn't know that there was any other. I just thought, okay, I guess that's how it happened in the book. That fucking sucks. And then they use a snowmobile to get away at the end. No, in the book, he actually does save the day.
Yeah.
And he gets really fucked up along the way. But, you know, his whole journey there is a big ordeal, going through a blizzard, up a mountain, and then he saves the day.
Yeah, because he's like that. He's like in Florida, right?
Yeah.
He's in Florida when he hears
Danny calls for him with The Shining. And then he saves the day. He gets him out of there. And then, he ends up in, I think it's like Maine or something, working in this. They're there with him. And then they, this is actually later. I wanted to bring this up because it goes into Dr. Sleep. Beginning of Dr. Sleep, Danny's 8 years old and him and his mom live in Florida.
Yeah.
The gross lady from hotel or room 217 shows up in his bathroom down there. So even though the overlook is done, the fucking ghosts are still after him. They call Dick and he flies down because he's still alive. So he's like the father figure to Danny's life.
That's why I'm interested in the movie.
How are they going to do that? Because it's a sequel from the movie.
Yeah, it's not a sequel to the book. It's a sequel from the movie.
Unless they just do... Well, again, Dick was really old. Well, obviously pretty fucking old in Dr. Sleep, I would imagine.
Because, I mean, like, he was only in the beginning bit. It's not like he has, like, a through line through the whole thing. I haven't gotten that far yet.
I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's only a couple years later in the book. So but maybe they'll just say he didn't die from the axe chest. That's the only thing I could think. Also, he had a cool afro in the movie, or in the book, and he didn't in the movie.
I can't remember because in the book, the hotel explodes.
In the book, the boiler... You knew the hotel at the very beginning. You knew the hotel was probably going to explode because Stephen King throws attention on this fucking boiler so often about how... And it almost blows up once because he forgot to do it, because of the ghost and all the shit that's going on. He keeps distracting him, and he almost forgets the boiler. That's how it ends. The fucking hotel blows up. Yeah. In the movie, not so much. The hedges, though, I will say I thought was kind of lame. I like how he wrote about the hedges in the book, like how them fucking like
would move.
Doctor Who style. They would only move when you're not looking.
Yeah.
But then, and that was cool. That whole part was cool. I was fine with that. But then the end, when Dick Halloran comes up there, he gets attacked by the goddamn hedges, and then it's kind of corny. I mean, he's getting attacked by fucking a lion hedge that's like biting him with its wood. That was a little stupid. But other than that, I still would have liked the hedges to make more of an appearance in the movie, and the movie was just some stupid maze. Again, though, the movie, if you just watch it, is a masterpiece on its own. It's just like kind of themes of The Shining, and that's about it. Also in the movie, Jack Nicholson's character, Jack Torrance, when he's locked in the pantry, he just gets out. But in the book, it's, who was it, Grady, the old caretaker that killed his family and himself? He lets him out, so that shows you that the ghosts are real. In the movie, I don't know if you ever actually... I mean, Wendy sees him in there. She sees the dog man and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the blood elevator and stuff, so it's hinted pretty hard that it is real, but you never actually get conclusive evidence that it is. While in the book, it's definitely real.
Yeah.
It's the hotel is just fucking haunted. It's a haunted ghost story, whereas the movie, I would say, is more just about like a lunatic.
I would say to people who haven't read it, it might be a little hard because it's pretty outdated, but they did a TV series, like a mini TV series. I watched it.
After I read the book, I went and watched some of the TV series on YouTube. It has not held up.
Oh, well, no, but I'm just saying, if you want to look for a more accurate...
it's more accurate.
A more accurate of it, but like I said, it, like you said, it doesn't hold up, but if you want to see, like, if you watch only watch the Shining movie and haven't read the book, and want to be like, oh, I want to know what the book's actually like without actually reading it, you can check that out. But
if you watch the Shining movie, you barely understand what the book's about. You just know there's a thing called The Shining and a family going crazy in a hotel. That's the only similarities, in my opinion.
Yeah, because we actually even get a better description of like what The Shining actually is in the books. Like
you definitely get a better description. Which again, how are they going to do Doctor Sleep unless they really go into that? So it's going to be odd how they do a continuation. I'm interested to see how it goes.
So how far are you into Doctor Sleep?
A couple chapters maybe. I just started it yesterday, last night. Also, the movie, there's a couple other scenes. The Here's Johnny, that was improvised by Jack Nicholson. Yeah. But in the book, he does bust through the door with a rope mallet, not an axe. And I keep saying the rope mallet because they make, he really goes into detail that it's this he talks about how the game's played. Because I didn't even know what a rope mallet was. So he actually goes into, specifically, it's a rope mallet. It can't just be an axe. Also, the all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I was very disappointed not in the book. And I thought, damn, Stephen King had to write that because that was fucking awesome. No. Stanley Kubrick was also a genius. So
yeah.
He definitely did his diligence in making his own movie.
I mean, there's a reason why people think he filmed the moon landing.
I mean, he might have. I don't think so, but...
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's a special podcast. So, I'm going to throw this ball into your court real quick.
All right.
What did you prefer, the book or the movie? I'm assuming you're like me and actually saw the movie before the book.
Oh yeah, I definitely watched the movie multiple times. Not probably to the extent that you have, but definitely saw it a lot. And then read it, years later. I would probably lean more towards the book, and that could just be my Stephen King bias, like you know what I mean. But I enjoy, I'm not one of those, either or guys who are like I'm only like the book and fuck the movie, or like the movie and fuck the book. They're both entertainable. And I also...
That's why I liked it. I thought it was good. It was just for what it is. It might not be the book, but it was still good.
And especially for when it was made and all, and you gotta factor all that stuff in. And I always, no matter what it is, books, games... comics, whatever, whenever they're adapting it to some other medium, whatever it is, you have to factor in the things that have to be changed. Yeah. And the medium that you're telling a story has a factor into that.
Well, also, you don't want to tell the exact same story, or why not just read the book then? Yeah, I mean, the director and whoever the screenwriter, unless it is, say, Stephen King doing the screenwriting, and even then they usually change things because in the movie, it's a separate piece of art. Like you said, it's a different medium. You can show things on screen that you can't tell it or show in a book. It's just that how it works, like a feeling. For instance, the infamous music that opens The Shining. No matter how well you write, you're not going to be able to write that musical score into the book. You can't write that feeling. So another reason why Stanley Kubrick was a genius was just the way he used atmosphere. Like if you watch The Shining now, you'll realize... Instead of going like spooky sounds and creaks and groans of the hotel like Stephen King wrote, he just has silence.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where Jack Nicholson's just typing away on the typewriter, and that's all you hear, and it just slowly like zooms in from a distance, and you just see how empty and alone the place really is. You can't do that in the novel form. Though in the movie, I didn't like Wendy's character. No offense, Shelley Duvall, but they just changed the character completely. Like, I'm not even talking about appearance-wise, because in the book she's hot blonde, and in the movie she's a mouse. But I don't just mean mouse in physical appearance. In the way she acts, she's afraid. Yeah. She's really, Jack can do whatever he wants, and she's kind of scared of him.
She's just kind of there to scream.
Yeah, in the book, obviously she's fleshed out more, too, and she has her own problems. But in the book, she's trying to save Danny, and she fights Jack Torrance off, kind of. Yeah. She's not just a little scared woman. She's her own person. She's more a stronger character.
That's one thing you can't say about Stephen King is he writes a pretty good female character.
Yes, he fucking does. And it's because unlike some of these writers who just, I'm a feminist too, so I'm going to write this super strong kid. No, he makes them real people. Yeah. It's not just female character like the stereotype, just you can either kick ass or is a bimbo. Yeah. Or, you had the smart one. No, he just makes a fucking person, and then they just happen to be female. I still lean towards the movie. See, again, I can't pick because the book was so good. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was excellent. I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, there was only a few parts in it that I didn't. Again, the hedges I didn't care for too much, but I thought it was excellent. The strong use of the N-word, though, I didn't expect that. Like, I mean, I get it. It fit the character, like the house being evil, talking to Dick Halloran because he's a black guy, so it's calling him the N-word and all these racial slurs to kind of get in his head and stuff, but it was real hard, man. Just in the 2019 lens going back to, I'm like, oh, shit, son.
Well, he's, it's not like Stephen King uses the word a lot, but if he is one of his characters are African American and they're dealing with any kind of, like, Southern race or like asshole or anything kind of like that, like they'll use like in the Dark Tower series, one of the main characters is this African American woman. If I remember correctly, it's thrown around a lot sometimes too, because she's like, they do a lot of characters being plucked from different places and times. So I think she got plucked out like the 50s or the 60s.
Oh, right.
And then even just like her saying it herself and stuff, like,
Well, I will say that, N-word aside, just all the hard words he uses them where they're needed and makes them most effective. It's not like he just throws around like the word cunt all the time or, any other kind of slurs or anything. He just to make somebody unlikable. He throws it in a way where it fucking hits you raw. And that's one thing I've been taking away from his writing that I'm really enjoying is how he uses language in a way that, like when you, for instance, all the N-words, when I was reading that, I'm not thinking Stephen King saying that. Yeah. I'm not thinking like, oh, this is Stephen King's thoughts or anything like that. I'm just like the character or what's happening in the book because he writes so well.
Have you read anything yet? Because there's been a couple of times when I've read something and like I'll be reading it and I'll literally have to stop and be like, oh, whoa. Like either from like something somebody said or somebody did to somebody else.
There was definitely a couple moments in The Shining like that. Dr. Sleep has a couple moments already like that when he's talking about Dick Halloran is telling Danny about how he used to see his molester grandpa as a dead guy, and he'd have his fucking dick out and come sit on this, boy, and like all this fucked up shit. And I was like, ooh, man, that's fucking gross. I'm really looking forward to reading Dr. Sleep and finishing that up, and then I'm going to watch the movie again right before I go see Dr. Sleep in theaters.
Yeah, when's that come? That's coming out soon, right?
November.
Oh, you got a little bit of time for that one.
3 Stephen King movies this year. And not to mention, like, what series and shit he's had.
What, It,
Pet Sematary was earlier this year.
I forgot about Pet Sematary.
Everybody has. It sucked.
Saw it on DVD already.
It sucked as bad as the first one did.
At least, again, that one had an excuse. It's like, that was in, like, the mid to early, like, 90s. Yeah. Like, come on, it's hard to make there's no reason why you couldn't make a good Stephen King book now.
No
Dark
excuse.
Tower aside.
That also heard that was... Well, that's more understandable because the Dark Tower is so fucking long. How are you going to tell that story in a 2-hour movie or 3-hour movie? I watched 1922 over the weekend. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't watched it.
It was starring Thomas Jane. Man can act his fucking balls off.
I've liked him for a long time.
Well, I've always liked it, but he was really good in this, and it was a little dry in parts, but it was pretty creepy.
Is it like a newer thing, or?
I think it's on Netflix. I watched it. Oh, it must have just came out not long ago.
Okay. Is it a movie or a show?
Movie.
Okay.
I never read the source material, so have you read 1922 yet? It's about
No, that's why I was having a brain fart because because we were talking about Stephen King. He had the book with the time travel book about whenever JFK got assassinated.
1963.
Yeah, and like I knew that wasn't right, and but like the numbers just got mixed up in my head. Like I was like, that's why I stuttered there when you asked me if I saw it. No. I got all confused for a minute.
1922 is about this like farmer guy and his son and his wife wants to sell the farm and start a new... She's kind of a bitch.
Oh, wait.
She wants to start a new life in, like, Kansas City or not Louisiana. I don't fucking know. Somewhere. And, him and his kid don't want to. They kill her.
Yeah, I see that. I read it. I didn't.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was like a short story. That's why it was in a collection.
Hey, get JFK off your mind there, buddy.
Why?
And
Which you're gonna have to check that one out soon.
shut up.
That's another big
Stop
one.
telling me to read books.
Just go through and get his big ones out of the way. Get like all the 1,000-page. Get like The Stand, The It, Under the Dome, the JFK one. Just get all those big sons of bitches out the way, and then like just focus on like the 600 pagers.
Oh. You know I got other stuff to read, right?
No, you don't.
You see my bookshelf, right? Fuck.
If I was able to do it, you can do it.
Yeah, but it's the only thing you were reading at the time.
And it did take years.
Yeah, you literally just read Stephen King for 10 years in a row. I've been reading other stuff. High society, fancy culture stuff. Which brings me to the other side of this story. You, which I guess we're going to do a separate episode about this, but you start reading Of Mice and Men.
Yes.
And you're liking it.
Yes. Almost done with it.
And then pretty soon you're going to be up to reading War and Peace and just sitting there schooling me on Russian society in the 1800s. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about, Spencer? How'd you read that so fast? It's like 5,000 pages.
I found a way to just inject it. I injected the story.
I wish you could do that with like the classic literature. Just get it out of the way.
I could just see I come over to do a podcast, your door's ajar. Okay, Caleb, you're in your room, you're all strung out with a needle and a thing wrapped around you. Like, oh my god, Caleb's doing heroin. And I come over like, no, he just injected the one of the Hemingway books or something.
Fucking, he just shot up like the whole work of Shakespeare. He said he didn't want to read it, so he just shot it up and it was too much. He just shot up the whole like Proust's Remembrance of Things Past, which is like 1,000,000 words. It's like 7 volumes.
Anything? What's the Neil Gaiman? The Delusium or
yeah?
You just you injected that into yourself.
Oh yeah, not Neil Gaiman, Alan Moore, Jerusalem. Yeah, that's
Don't you have that?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you bought it.
I can't. It's too big. I'm gonna read the ebook at some point. It's so big.
That thing's so big that it makes the ebook heavier whenever you download it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like getting that in the worst part of winter, like if we have a blizzard. And maybe by the time I get done reading that, spring will be here.
Just Jack Torrance yourself with that.
Yeah. Just get in the Overlook Hotel and just read fucking Jerusalem and then I probably will go crazy. And I'll be attacking people with a mallet.
You know what you know what I'm hoping is gonna happen with The Shining is since like ABC is doing like they're doing this thing on that app, the All Access app that they have.
Yeah.
They're doing that they're redoing The Stand.
I thought that was CBS.
Whatever. I think whoever does that, I think they did the Shining,
miniseries.
Yeah. But regardless, what I'm saying is that whatever that is that's doing that, hopefully if The Stand is popular enough that they'll think of maybe doing The Shining as well.
I'd rather them do The Dark Tower.
That would be nice as well. I mean, it pisses me off regardless because I don't have it. Like, I don't have that streaming service.
Well, how do you feel about Disney? Did you hear their announcement?
Well, yeah,
Disney Plus is going to have Hulu and ESPN.
And I only feel like, what, like $13?
Yeah. I'm not getting anything. I'm going to read books.
Yeah.
I'm going to get smarter. I'm not going to watch any more TV. I don't really watch TV anymore anyway.
No. Yeah, that's what was weird whenever we were, at the convention in the hotel room. Like, that's probably like the longest I didn't even like have a TV on.
Didn't even think about that, yeah. Didn't even turn it on
I mean, it's not like we really even had time really to even, to really watch anything, especially whenever we were in the hotel. We were trying to get writing done anyways.
Yeah,
but, like,
writing done.
But afterwards, I was kind of thinking, I was like, well, that's kind of, I was like, Kate probably does that shit all the time, but like at least normally I'll have it on. It's just like, because I know, like, some people work better with, like, complete science. Sometimes I almost need something to block out, not to focus on, but to focus, like, against. Like, you know what I mean? I know that's kind of weird. Like, I almost kind of need a distraction, so I have something to distract, like, so I can focus on something else. It's weird.
Play, like, music or something.
Yeah, man, yeah. But no, music is too, like, I can ignore TV show.
Can't ignore music?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to, because if I'm listening to the music, it's going to be something that I'm writing. And next thing I know, I'm going to be there typing, and I'm just going to be like, and then I'll find like I'm typing the lyrics out or something stupid like,
it's raining, man.
Yeah.
I find that I, usually it's just because Mindy will be watching something loud on TV. I find that if I listen to, like, ambience on like YouTube or something, like library noises or like rain or just something like that. That usually helps me. Mainly blocks out the other noise, and then I just kind of focus on the writing. So that's nice. Like what we brought up at the intro. If you like want to talk about Jack Nicholson's hot lady bod,
hot.
if you want us to do a whole episode about that, we had an idea. You listeners should send us lots of probably angry messages, I'll imagine, because nobody wants to pay for anything. We were thinking about doing premium podcast episodes, normal podcast, DPW podcast, same content, free, nothing wrong with that, but extra episodes that'll be extra raunchy, extra fucked up, and probably not related to writing.
No filter, just bullshit.
Believe it or not, we do contain ourselves a lot.
Like, you think that just imagine like the BS episodes,
but way worse.
Yeah, just way worse.
But we were thinking about doing a premium. We'll have to try this out in the coming month or so. Do a premium episode to see how test the waters, and probably like $1 or $2. I haven't looked into what the pricing is, but I'm sure you could just do whatever price you want, I would imagine. So like you pay $1, and then you could just get like 2 or 3 hours of us just talking fucking nonsense about everything. We're also, which I'm not gonna, I'll soft announce it today, but because I didn't get it in the mail yet.
Yeah, we don't want to.
We're gonna be doing a giveaway, so you want to stick around for the next few episodes and. I'll follow us on the old Twitter because I'll post the picture. I'll probably post it on the website too. The picture of the fine product we're going to be giving away. Still got to come up with some kind of thing. Like, we can't just be like, whoever says our name fastest. Like, it's got to be something cool. But we will get to you guys with that fine information. You can hit us up on the old drunkenpenwriting.com and keep your eye out for that announcement. You can head on over to Twitter at drunkpenwriting where we tweet the most glorious of tweets. You can go on Facebook and we'll say hi and talk about politics or something. Get real mad and talk about Dan Quayle. Is that what old people talk about still, Dan Quayle? He was like an SNL joke in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Who's the other guy? Ross Perot? Who's the guy Norm Macdonald used to always play on? He had the strong hand.
Oh.
It wasn't Dan Quayle or Ross Perot. Oh no, Bob Dole. He was Bob Dole. We should do a whole episode where we just rant politics, but it's just like old politics that aren't relevant
Reagan,
anymore.
goddamn Reagan.
Fucking Reagan. Also,
Lincoln.
That damn Lincoln. You seen any good movies lately, Lincoln? Too soon? So yeah, if you want to raunch content, you'll still get it for free.
And just not like, we just won't be there saying weird curse words. It'd be more of just a random conversation that we have either before or after the podcast. That has no topics and we'll just randomly go to weird places.
Well, also, like, we just did the religious episode, which came out pretty well. Yeah, a good amount of downloads. That was just yesterday that published, right?
I think that's when you guys...
I got a lot of downloads already. So I was thinking also maybe if we wanted to hit more topics like that, but not related, because we had that one still steered towards writing. But if we did one like that, like religion, politics, anything that's causes fights, not amongst us, but amongst assholes, we can maybe make that also a premium episode. But we'll test the waters. We'll try it out. Maybe the first episode will be
or if you just want to hear us talk about like basketball and Wu-Tang Clan, whatever.
See, I was thinking about like best lube for butt sex, but yeah, basketball Wu-Tang Clan is probably more.
Oh, you don't think we'll get to that from that?
We will.
We'll find a way to get there.
Old Dirty Bastard, by the way, preferred butt sex to all sex.
Yeah?
I don't know if you knew that. There was
I didn't, but it's not surprising.
There was a video of him going around. It was on YouTube. I don't know why, but I can't find it anymore. It was him talking about licking girls' buttholes and how robust it was. And he said it was like licking York peppermint patties. It was refreshing. He used the words robust and refreshing. Very, like, he hit the point really hard with them. And then he went on about the hole. If I believe, I think this is the correct terminology he used. The hole was the more littler. The butthole is more littler Sorry, I never used the word littler. I don't even know if that's an actual word.
It's rough because like you want to say that sentence the correct way, but you can't. You have to say it the way you said it.
Yeah. So that's some ODB facts for you. And again, do premium episodes. It'll be like that, but way worse.
Yeah.
Like that'll be the 20-minute conversation right there. Okay. Hope you took away something. I would say read The Shining.
Yeah,
watch The Shining.
Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys prefer the book, the movie? Have you watched already the one,
And check out Dr. Sleep.
Give us some feedback.
We need that sweet feedback. We feed on it.
That's why it's called feedback.
We feed it. You give back. We feed on that feedback. I'm not so. I'm Bob Dole. Vote for Bob Dole.